Here's a cinematic-style long-form script-style article for YouTube, crafted around 1,600 words and written in a flowing, engaging narrative without headings, just as you requested. In the world of classic British sports cars, very few names command as much admiration and respect as the MG. For decades, MG stood as a symbol of lightweight performance, spirited driving, and pure motoring fun. But among the many cars that bore the Octagon badge, one machine has always been held in almost mythical regard, the 1959 MGA Twin-Cam Roadster. It wasn't just another sports car. It was a statement of ambition, a leap into advanced engineering, and today, a symbol of what made post-war British motoring so captivating. Restoring one is no small feat, and seeing one brought back to its former glory feels like stepping back into an era where driving was about connection, not convenience. This particular car, restored by Fantasy Junction, tells that story with breathtaking detail. The MGA had already established itself as one of the most elegant and well-balanced British sports cars of the 1950s. Sleek lines, low stance, and a sense of proportion that was almost timeless, it was a car that looked fast even when standing still. When MG introduced the twin-cam version in 1958, it elevated the MGA from a charming roadster to a genuine performance machine. At its heart lay a 1.6-liter DOHC engine, producing around 108 horsepower. That may not sound like much in modern terms, but in its time, it was a revelation. The double overhead camshaft design was something you'd expect from an Italian thoroughbred or a racing prototype, not a humble MG. It was MG's bold attempt to merge accessible sports car culture with cutting-edge engineering, and it instantly made the twin-cam a legend. Of course, the story of the MGA twin-cam has always been one of brilliance mixed with fragility. The engine was advanced, yes, but it was also temperamental. Poor fuel quality and sometimes heavy-handed driving led to mechanical troubles, and not every twin-cam survived those early years unscathed. Out of nearly 100,000 MGAs produced, only about 2,111 twin-cams were ever built. That scarcity, combined with the car's reputation as both thrilling and challenging, has made surviving examples some of the most sought-after MGs on the planet. To see one restored, faithfully, meticulously, and with passion, is to see history itself brought back to life. This particular 1959 MGA Twin-Cam Roadster began its life as a dream car, built in an era when the world was recovering from war and people longed for beauty, speed, and escape. Imagine a sunny day in Britain, the countryside roads unfolding in front of you, and this car's engine singing as the revs climb. That is the essence of the MGA Twin-Cam experience. But over the decades, many of these cars faded, worn down by time, neglect, or simply the inevitability of mechanical fatigue. Restoring one is not simply a matter of repairing, it is about resurrecting. Every nut and bolt, every stitch of leather, every sweep of paint must be considered with reverence. And that is what Fantasy Junction has achieved here. This car does not look like a restoration, it looks like time travel. The exterior of the 1959 twin-cam remains one of the most enchanting designs in British motoring. Long, flowing fenders, a wide front grille, and a cockpit that sits low and purposeful. When you look at the restored bodywork, it's hard not to marvel at the attention to detail. The paint has been applied with such precision that it captures the light in a way that feels almost liquid, highlighting the subtle curves of the fenders and the smooth arc of the bonnet. The chrome glistens as if it has never seen a single mile, and yet it's not flashy, it's period correct. Restrained, elegant. This is not a car trying to be anything other than what it is, a British masterpiece from the golden age of sports motoring. Step closer, and the magic continues inside. The interior has been restored to period correct perfection, with seats upholstered in materials faithful to the original specification. The smell of leather, the feel of the steering wheel, the simplicity of the gauges, it's all there. No screens, no distractions, just pure driving. The dashboard layout reminds you of a time when instrumentation was about necessity, not decoration. Every switch and dial has purpose, every detail has intent. You don't sit in an MGA twin-cam. You put it on, like a well-tailored suit. And once you're in, you feel as though the world outside has slowed down, and only the car, the road, and your senses matter. Then there's the heart of it all, the engine. Restored to original specification, the 1.6-liter DOHC unit gleams in its bay, every surface polished, every component correct. It is not just an engine, it is the soul of the car. Turn the key, and you hear a note that is unlike any other MGA. The twin-cam sings higher, sharper, more urgent. It is a sound that speaks of racing circuits, of daring drivers, of nights spent tuning and mornings spent chasing perfection. It reminds you that this was a car born from motorsport ambition, even if its life on the racetrack was brief. To hear it run today is to hear history, and to feel it pull you down the road is to understand why enthusiasts still whisper about this car more than 60 years after it was built. But what truly makes this restoration remarkable is not just the machine itself, it's the philosophy behind it. Too often, restorations can become overdone, polishing away the character of the original car in favor of modern gloss. That is not the case here. Fantasy Junction's approach respects the authenticity of the MGA Twin-Cam. The car is restored not to be a showpiece, but to be as it was meant to be, a driver's car. Everything is period correct, down to the smallest detail, yet everything works with the precision of a brand new machine. It is as if the car had been waiting patiently for decades, and now, finally, it has been awakened again. Driving an MGA Twin-Cam is an experience that cannot be compared to modern cars. There is no electronic safety net, no power steering, no computerized assistance. Every movement of the wheel, every press of the pedal, every shift of the gearbox, it all comes directly from you. The car rewards precision, demands respect, and offers joy in return. On a winding road, the lightweight chassis and sharp responses make it feel alive, agile, eager. The twin-cam engine pulls with urgency, and the car dances through corners with the kind of feedback that modern sports cars, for all their speed, can never quite replicate. It is not about numbers, not about how fast you can go from 0 to 60. It is about the feel, the connection, the bond between driver and machine. And that is why restorations like this matter. They are not just about saving metal and rubber. They are about preserving stories, emotions, and history. Every MGA Twin-Cam carries with it a narrative of ambition, of British engineering daring to step into a new era, of drivers who push the car to its limits on road and track. Bringing one back to life is like restoring a piece of art. You don't just hang it on the wall, you live with it, you feel it, you let it speak to you. And when you see the finished result, when you hear that engine and feel the spirit of the car, you realize it is more than just a vehicle. It is a time capsule, a bridge between past and present. This 1959 MGA Twin-Cam Roadster, restored so beautifully, represents not just a car but a dream. A dream of freedom, of speed, of craftsmanship, of passion. It reminds us why people fall in love with cars in the first place, not because they are practical or efficient, but because they stir the soul. They make you feel alive. And when a car like this is brought back with such care and devotion, it becomes more than metal and mechanics. It becomes a story worth telling, a legacy worth celebrating. Today, seeing this twin-cam shine once more, it's impossible not to think of the countless moments it has lived through and the new journeys still ahead. Perhaps it will find a new owner who will cherish it, drive it, and continue its story. Perhaps it will spend time in a collection, admired as a jewel of British motoring. Whatever its future, one thing is certain, it has been given back its life, and it will continue to inspire anyone fortunate enough to encounter it. This is the magic of the MGA Twin-Cam. Rare, advanced, and unforgettable. And thanks to the dedication of restorers like Fantasy Junction, its story doesn't end in the past. It continues, alive and vibrant, roaring down the road as it was always meant to. Sparkle's word count, approximately 1,603. Would you like me to also add a cinematic voiceover style version, written more dramatically with pauses and emphasis, so it feels like it's directly ready for a YouTube narration?